Welcome to the MS&Me Radio Network, a division of the Multiple Sclerosis Global Support Network. The following program broadcast is an original creation by the broadcast entity. Discussion within the following broadcast should be used for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice or consultation. Before considering application of any broadcast content in the following program, please consult your healthcare provider. If you feel you are having a medical emergency, please contact your local health services for immediate assistance. MS&Me Media and the Multiple Sclerosis Global Support Network do not guarantee or warrant the accuracy of information in the broadcast to follow. The Multiple Sclerosis Global Support Network provisions broadcast services to program hosts. Information discussed in the broadcast does not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or goals of the network and are solely those of the show broadcast host. Should you wish to host a broadcast, please visit our website at msmemedia.com and submit a request to become a program host. We thank you for listening to the MS&Me Radio Network. Enjoy the show.
Hi, I want to welcome everybody to the MS&Me Radio Network. This is Kelly Alderson. I am an author, small business owner, and healthy living expert. I just wrote a book called Waking Up from MS, My Journey to Health, Healing, and Living Symptom-Free. You can check that out on Amazon. That details my almost 30-year journey living with and beating MS through natural and holistic ways. Now, I want to say I'm so happy that you're able to be here today because the MS&Me Radio Network is going to be a great platform for all of us here on this journey living with MS. It features people just at the beginning of their journey through all different stages of living with and conquering MS. Now, today I'm going to be interviewing one of my friends, Jarod from Florida. Now, I focused on holistic and natural treatments and therapies. I started treating my MS first as vitamin deficiency, and then turned to a healthier diet, then to alternative therapies. And Jarod is going to share with us today some of the nuggets and things that he did on his journey with MS. And so, Jarod, I just want to welcome you to the call today, and I'm so excited for the listeners here to hear your story of success and really what you're doing to beat MS today.
Great. Thank you very much, Kelly. And a slight correction, it's already a great platform. The work you're doing, the publishing you're doing, you're talking, you're out there being an advocate, it's already working very good. I give you big credit and big acknowledgement for that, my friend.
Thank you.
I thank everybody for being here listening, and I live and I love to inspire people. It's why I'm still alive, as near as I can figure. So sharing my story and sharing what I'm doing with people, whether it's multiple sclerosis or any other disease, the methodology I have used, I know works for everybody. Mm-hmm. And on with the show, as they say. Okay, given that I believe I've been cured now for about over 5 years, I've been telling the same story all the time. So I'll just keep going with my story, and here you go, folks. 1986, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Mother's Day weekend in May of 86. The doctor told me, and I quote, "You have multiple sclerosis. It's a chronic, degenerative, and incurable disease. You'll be in a wheelchair by the time you're 40. You'll probably be dead before you're 50. Sorry about that. Goodbye and good luck." I spent the next 20 years being virtually asymptomatic, though I did develop a slight limp. Almost 20 years exactly. In February of 2006, I missed by 3 months, the MS hit the fan. It got bad rather quickly. I had to stop working. I stopped working and I went complete Western. I had a neurologist. I saw a neurologist. I started with the usual injectables, all sorts of different shots. I tried that for a little over a year. The side effects of the injections was significantly worse than the multiple sclerosis itself. But during that time, I developed a limp, cane, walker, scooter. I was in pretty bad shape and fading rapidly. When I finally stopped seeing a doctor at all and stopped taking any of the injectables, that was in and around the end of 2007. 2008 were the dark years. I spent a lot of time doing absolutely nothing. being in Florida, like Kelly said, I spent a lot of time watching these ceiling fans go round and round and round. When I could get up and go out for a little while, I did that as best I could. If I could grab 2 or 3 hours a day, that was a good day. One of the biggest symptoms I had with MS, as many people do, is fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing pretty bad 2008, 2009. I know now, I look back on it, that I was just detoxing from the injectables and just generally detoxing from life. Finally, almost exactly 8 years ago, Thanksgiving with family, I had turkey like everybody else does. I quit eating animal products literally the next day. You could say I quit cold turkey. And I did. I quit cold turkey the day after Thanksgiving 2009, and that was the last chicken, beef, or fish that I ate. Beginning of 2010, I started going to physical therapy and started seeing a chiropractor. With those ideas, no doctors, no meds, being a vegetarian, physical therapy, chiropractor, and of course, having a great attitude like I like to have, 2010 and 2011 were pretty good years. I started the great, like the phoenix rising back. Started to get back into my life as best I could. Then the big breakthrough happened. My birthday, March of 2012, I took a ride up here about 45 minutes away from where I'm in Boca to West Palm Beach, Florida, to Hippocrates Health Institute in West Palm Beach, Florida. I went there and checked them out and saw, amongst other modalities, that they had a vegan lifestyle. That was their diet. I looked and I thought, oh, vegan, very nice. I'm already a vegetarian. They said, no, you don't get it. I said, whereas all vegetarians might like to be vegans, they're not, because all vegans are vegetarians. It's a very different thing. No dairy, no fish, no dairy, no eggs. So, okay, great. So I became a vegan the next day. If you're following, yeah, I'm that kind of guy. I don't dip my toe in the water. I jump in. If I know it's the right thing, I'm going to do it straight away. 2012, being a vegan diet was a very good year, working with the other things. Then 2013, again, my birthday, I went back there again, and I tried the food. I thought, oh, there's no cooked food here. And they said, no, it's raw vegan. It's like, wait a minute, it's all raw sprouts. Sprouts is living food. If you take good old healthy broccoli and throw it in the ground, it will not grow. But if you take buckwheat sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, sunflower sprouts, or pea sprouts, throw them in the ground, they're alive. They will continue to grow. Put them in water. It's better for them. I became a raw vegan that very day. 12 days later, March 31st, 2013, I was out and about, and I looked at my girlfriend and I said, did I nap this morning? She said, no, we went to this place. I said, oh. Did I nap this afternoon? She said, no, we kept going. I said, we're at dinner right now, right? She said, yeah. I said, I feel fine. All the fatigue left in 12 days flat. That was the last of my MS symptoms. Having said all that, now about 2 or 3 days later, I was at physical therapy, which I was going to once a week for a few months. I went to physical therapy, and I was doing my usual protocol, being stretched out, doing a little bit of walking with a cane. I said to my therapist, I said, it's about time I walked. And she said, well, Jarod, you're always such a funny guy. You're walking right now. I said, no, I want to walk without a cane. She said, well, you've been nothing but a miracle since you got here. Go for it there. So I sat down, pushed the cane aside, stood up, and for the first time in 7 years, unassisted, I walked 20 feet by myself.
Wow.
It was quite the major miracle. I physically probably could have walked further, but I was crying. I just couldn't see where I was going. It's quite emotionally powerful to meet and break a goal that was seemingly impossible. Since that time, life has just been amazing. Without any fatigue and just keeping on going there and having no symptoms whatsoever, not seeing doctors, no medication at all there, I now physically go to the YMCA 2 or 3 days a week where I'll walk in the gym using the equipment. As I walk by, I go about 200 or 300 feet. Then I'll go into the pool. Nobody in the pool, no life vest, nobody holding me up. I'll walk, about 8 or 9 laps back and forth, another 300 or 400 feet in the pool. Then I go to physical therapy, well, it'll be tomorrow, Thursday, and I'll walk on land. I'm now up to about 125 feet, all by myself, no cane, no assistance. I'm quite proud of it. As a matter of fact, just last weekend I was at Hippocrates, where I spent a lot of time there, and I was talking to people, as I always do when I go there, trying to encourage and empower them let them know that they can have a breakthrough and really have their life back. A lady said to me, we were talking, and she said, how old did you say you were? I said, I turned 60. She said, I'm 45. I thought I was too old for you. It's like, oh, I'll take that. You know, like I like to say, I feel better than I did in my 30s. People do think I'm in my 40s. This past March, I turned 60. Full head of hair, minimal, if any, gray at all. And my brain works, my eyes work. I lecture all the time. When you go to my Facebook page, I lecture all around South Florida all the time. I lecture at Hippocrates all the time. Just sharing my story. Sharing with people here and making the most of this opportunity I have to talk to people. I utilize a mind, body, spirit protocol. Keep your mind sharp. Have your diet right. Have your spirit right. Spirit. Focus on something bigger than yourself. Making a difference. It's about a lot of things. It's not about you. Just get out there and share like Kelly's doing. Share with people and try and support, encourage, and empower people as you go. Mind. Keep your mind sharp. Keep speaking. Keep thinking. Do crossword puzzles. Whatever you got to do. You know, body. I believe totally in a raw vegan diet, plant/sprout based. Every single day in an almost inattentive, obsessive manner for 5 years now. Every single morning, 2 ounces of wheatgrass. Every single afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, an hour before dinner, a couple of ounces of wheatgrass. Wheatgrass is God's gift. It's amazing stuff there. Just an amazing thing. Every morning at 10 o'clock and every afternoon at 4 o'clock. See, come on, brain. Celery, cucumbers, pea sprouts, and sunflower sprouts. It's the magic juice, if you will, at Hippocrates. I do 16 ounces of that at 10 a.m., 16 ounces at 4 o'clock. For lunch and for dinner. A handful of pea sprouts, a handful of sunflower sprouts. I'll put a fresh lemon on there. Remember, lemons are a totally natural detoxifier. Put lemon on there. Put hemp seed oil on there. When you want to grow something, you plant a seed. I like seeds on my food all the time. Again, hemp seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, fenugreek seeds. I put seeds on my food all the time, lunch and dinner. It is safe to say that out of lunch and dinner, 14 meals a week, 12 of those are exactly what I just described. I will go out for vegan dinner 2 times a week. Including all the 14, I do have dinner at Hippocrates a couple of nights a week too. Again, it's a plant-based, sprout-based diet. That's all I really want to say about all that. Get it crunched down into a few minutes there. I like to be I'm the opening act for the owner of Hippocrates, so I'm used to kind of saving a little time for him. So thanks for letting me share my story as quick as I can there. But Kelly, what kind of questions might you have for me?
I have a ton, and I just want to say, Jarod, that I'm so honored to have connected with you because your story is so inspiring, just like your doctor said to you that, you know, you'd be paralyzed or dead, right? You wouldn't have made it to age 60, but you persevered. You looked for ways to heal. I want to ask you specifically about if people are right now are saying, ooh, I don't want to go raw vegan, or maybe can I healthily add some more raw foods to my diet, or the wheatgrass or juicing. What would you recommend for people? Because I know a lot of people, they start to get overwhelmed when we share all this information. What little things can they start doing, kind of making those baby steps to start turning around their health?
I do not believe in baby steps. I'm an all-in kind of man, meaning that MS or any disease you have is all-encompassing. Therefore, you have to take an all-encompassing approach. The idea of easing in is allowing disease to still affect your life. Mm-hmm. Jump in full board. Immediately stop eating chicken, beef, and fish. Immediately stop eating eggs and dairy. Immediately stop taking any form of medication the doctor gives you. Those are toxins. Mm-hmm. If you have any doubt about that, remember, you're getting well, there's no money in the cure. They want you to feel better. Don't ever confuse feeling better with getting well. 2 different things. Mm-hmm. So the protocol I've laid out has worked for me and thousands of other people. It's a mind, body, spirit kind of thing. When your mind and body and spirit know that you're mad as hell, you're not going to take it anymore kind of thing, that you're going to beat this thing, it's a full-on attack, no easing in. Easing in, like I said, allows the disease to have any part of your life. You don't want to do that.
Sure, that's true. That is one thing we have to look at whenever we're eating anything. Is it feeding disease or is it feeding a healthy body and a healthy immune system? So I do appreciate that. Now, let's talk about...
You are what you eat, but...
Absolutely. And Jarod, let's talk about what do you do to always keep your spirits up or to have a good attitude? What keeps you motivated? And I know a lot of people tend to get kind of negative when they have a condition like MS. How can the listeners, have that good attitude every day?
Always remind yourself you're a victor over MS, not a victim of it. You're a thriver, not merely a survivor. That you have MS. MS does not have you. Do not define yourself as someone that has multiple sclerosis. You're a whole, perfectly complete human being who has found a way of keeping MS or whatever disease you have in check. I like to keep myself a musical kind of guy, whether it's concerts, whether it's Springsteen or Billy Joel, or just live local bands. I like to play music at home all the time, and Kelly sees it on my Facebook wall all the time. I have a great attitude. I like to tell jokes all the time. I like to joke around, things like that, have a good time. So I keep my attitude very strong and very positive. Having said that, I know the world we live in can be harsh if you look at it that way. So whether it's a Pollyanna attitude or not, or a altruistic attitude, I have minimal negativity in my life. I don't allow that in my life. I'm just a happy guy working towards a happy goal of helping people. When I help people, I help myself all the time.
Now, Jarod, can people connect with the Socrates Institute, say they want to get on that plan that they have for a raw vegan diet? How can people connect with them online? Because remember, this is being listened to around the globe. So how can we make that information also available to the other listeners out there? Okay, great.
Just go to www.hippocrates, HIPPOCRATES, Hippocrates, INST for Institute, .org. All right, or just look it up on Google, and it's going to come up there. Just click on that, go to their website, and see what they do. Just a little bit of clarification. I don't work there. I don't own the place, nothing like that at all. It's something that I see, and I know I can put my integrity behind it. I go there every single Sunday. About 25 people every week for the last 30 years come there from all over the world, all right, to heal themselves, and they always do. I go there on Friday for the graduation and see the amazing stories. After 3 weeks, people come and they're like, oh, my doctor told me to go home and get my affairs in order. 3 weeks later, they come there. I'm cured. I feel great. They do the blood work. No more cancer, no more whatever they got there. They're doing great. I'm a living, breathing testimonial to that all the time myself. Go there, and for myself, go to YouTube, type in Jarod walking. There's 9 videos of me on Jarod walking on YouTube. A couple of my lectures there. Go on to YouTube, type in the director of Hippocrates, Brian Clement. It's BrianClement, Brian Clement. He's got about 30 lectures on YouTube. You can go listen to him and see how what he's saying makes a whole lot of sense about that. For myself, you can always go to a Facebook page and join me and a few thousand other people like Kelly. Go to Jarod.jacobs, the number 9, on Facebook, and you can find me on there. And also, thank you, Kelly, for giving me the opportunity to say so. Feel free to shoot me an email, Jarod_JACOBS @Comcast.net. And because I'm an out there kind of guy, feel free to give me a call on my cell phone here in South Florida. Please remember I'm an Eastern Standard Time. No 2 a.m. phone calls, please. My phone number is 5. It can happen. People in California. My phone number is 561-503-3134.
Now, Jarod, let me ask you another question, because I've heard you say over and over the word cured. And now I believe that I'm cured, healed, whatever people want to put on that, because I've been symptom-free over 13 years. I know I'm going to never have another issue with MS because it's not in my body anymore. And that's my thing I try to tell people.
That's exactly right, Kelly. I give you big props for that. That's a beautiful thing. That's exactly right.
Let's talk about that. So you say you're cured, and what does that mean to you? And what does that mean? Maybe some people will say, oh, you can't be cured from MS. That's what our doctors told us. What's your take on that?
Well, unfortunately, in America, people are raised with the idea that my doctor said it, I believe it, that settles it. I don't believe doctors in that sense of being, meaning I don't have MS in my life. That's why right away I told you, whether it's MS or any other autoimmune disease, it's not important to me. It's just some disease. In that manner of speaking, by the way, I think doctors give you a disease to fit the medication they want to prescribe to you. But that's a personal opinion, but it always bears out true. Having said that, whether you use the word cured or healed or whatever, I choose not to make MS a variable in my life. Meaning, even though we're talking the MS network here, I don't usually get involved with MS specifically. You know, that's why I keep saying it's a disease. That's all illness. All diseases are the same thing. The cells are just not working correctly. Cellular malfunction. When your cells function well, you do just fine. I like to say that when you cut your finger, you put a band-aid on it, it gets better. The body wants to heal itself. Give your body what it needs to heal itself. Mind, body, spirit. Give yourself the right food and it will heal itself. There's a big thing to say about how the mind works. The mind's a very powerful thing. You know, when you think about how sugar pills work and such like that. The body works way.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jarod,
I don't get caught up. Too many people I met, by the way, they identify themselves as they're not Bill or Mary, they're an MS person or they're a cancer person. Never identify yourself as a disease. Always identify yourself as a whole, perfect, and complete, wonderful person who happens to have found a way to deal with this situation. That's all. Too many people are a victim. Oh, poor pill for me. Take him. I have this disease. Later for that crap. It's not about your disease.
Forget it.
You're just on your path to get there. Yep.
You know what I always say, Jarod? I always say never own your disease. The
That's
minute
right.
you take ownership is the minute it makes a home.
It
Whatever
owns
we
you.
have going on inside of us, it's not staying. So we cannot focus on that. We have to focus on healing, our good health, our longevity.
That's right.
And we have so many ways to do that now. It's just really having everyone with this condition, whatever health condition they're having, we just have to make a decision that we're going to focus on healing the mind, body, spirit naturally. That's the only thing that's going to serve us. The drug therapy, I know you and I are on the same page with that. Suppressing the immune system is not going to help heal us. In fact, it opens us up to a host of other conditions. You know, we have getting cancer, or sick all the time, or they have another autoimmune disease. So we really have to just stay focused on our healing. And Jarod, we have a few more minutes here. Any last tips for someone, maybe they're just getting right now introduced to MS, or maybe there's someone long-term, what words of advice do you have and inspiration for them while they're listening to this call today?
Health and happiness is the only way to be. Put a smile on your face, put happiness in your heart, put it in your mind, and realize you're on your path, doing your thing. Smile and be happy. You're learning a way to make yourself best and better for the people that love you and that you love. That's the only right way to look at life. Why am I here? Great, I'm going to do this and do that. You're not here to suffer from some disease. Forget that nonsense. You're here to prosper, be happy, share your story with people. Whether it's like myself or Kelly or whatever your mission in life is, discover your mission. Put a smile on. Listen to music. Have a good time. Don't die with the music in you. Just have a good time with it all there.
I love it. Thank you so much, Jarod. And everyone, I want to thank you for being on the broadcast today. And we're going to be here every week, and I'm going to be bringing you new information and new MS warriors as we're all in this together. And if Jarod gave you some great tips on how to get in touch with him, so definitely try to get in touch with him, and he's got some great information he can share with you. You can also connect with me, Kelly Alderson, on Facebook, or you can check out my blog at Waking Up From MS, or you can also reach me on Twitter there as well. I look forward to speaking with you and learning more about each and every person's journey here. Remember, we're all in this together, so one by one, we have to lock arms and figure out the best way for us to deal with this disease and beat it, and I believe we can. So I want to tell everybody, live in hope, focus on healing, and God bless.